Hey guys, welcome back to Overtakes. This is Misfit.
And I'm Kel.
And we're going to talk to you today about Stage 3, Week 2, Saturday. So let's hit the matches. We got two good ones to start off the day.
Yeah. Starting it off with a pretty big one in the Philadelphia Fusion versus going against the London Spitfire for their playoff rematch.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm sure London's not too happy. In fact, they're on a losing streak from that.
Right.
Well, they were. We'll see what happens. We're recording this before their match on Thursday, so assuming they're gonna kill my team. But
yeah.
But anyway, onto this match. This is it was tough to pick before. Now you really don't know where London's at because they've been playing decent teams and they have not been winning.
Right. Even if they do just curb stomp the Florida Mayhem, like I just don't see. I don't know. Like, it's still hard to even say that they're going to be able to go into this game and, like, really take over and dominate.
Right. And unless they do their split squad thing.
Yeah.
Which is a good possibility.
Maybe.
But the Mayhem match you got to be careful with, though, too.
Right.
It's the thing. It's not like they were in Stage 1 or the beginning of Stage 2. They're a little bit better than they were. So you might have to run your main lineup for that match to get into, and you get into this match, a bigger match, a more important match, that you gotta... Well, they have to win everything now. They have to win every map, everything.
Honestly, I don't see them running their subs very much anymore anyway.
Yeah, they have a lot of ground to pick up.
Yeah, they got a lot of maps they gotta make up. They need every win that they can get. Because I feel like some of these top teams are not gonna drop very many games.
No.
So that's something they really gotta watch out for.
And then you got teams like the Valiant and the Fusion that are closing in on them, and Seoul, to be honest, as much as we've been jabbing at Seoul.
Right.
London's got 7 losses. They're in the mix with Philadelphia and London, and, potentially the Gladiators if they keep rolling like they do. The Valiant. In fact, I think the Valiant have 8 or 9 losses. So, yeah. Your standings are getting tighter and tighter and tighter. Can they not handle the pressure of this, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It's really hard to tell like which team is going to show up. I don't think they're quite as two-faced as Seoul is.
No.
But at the same time, they just haven't played at that top tier that they had before.
Yeah, they're just on a 3-match losing streak, counting the playoffs.
Right. That's
just weird, man. I can't describe it any other way. A team that I never thought, losing a game here and there, sure. Also, they need to come up against their nemesis and New York to start the stage off.
Right.
So maybe a little bit of leeway there, but still, it's a 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, for sure. But then with the way that Philly's been playing, it's a tough task.
Yeah.
Because Philly's really, ever since they made it up to that playoff, they've been playing a really high level and a really damn good team.
They are, and they have such good cohesion as a team. Even with... they rotate the one DPS spot between Snillo, EQO, and Shadowburn. Everything else is pretty much set.
Right, and then this is going to be the return of EQO after his suspension, so that'll be a big boost for Philly as well. Yeah,
that's going to be interesting. London, they don't have a notable Pharah. Like, Prophet and Birdring don't really specialize in Pharah.
No.
In the past, they've run Hurang on there, but are you going to take Prophet or Birdring out? Because you might need a Pharah. The maps kind of favor the not Pharah for the most part, except for Ilios. So they might be okay. We know the first map's going to be fun.
Yeah.
Because you got Carpe doing his Carpe things, and then of course you got Prophet who's going to probably run Junkrat and Reaper.
And then you'll get this is a really good map for EQO.
Yeah.
On Genji.
Birdring on Widowmaker.
Yes.
This is gonna be a good one.
We could see some Carpe on Widowmaker
on Widow
as well.
too, yeah.
There's a lot of different possibilities that Philly could go with on this match. They could end up running Dante or Carpe and Snillo.
Yeah.
And then you have Carpe doing Widowmaker, then you have Snillo doing his thing on Tracer. I don't really know.
Yeah,
interesting.
Because Carpe actually, he can play Reaper as well, if need be. I just, more and more, I like watching these guys play on Anubis. Yes. Just because you have to pull out the bag of tricks, and, everyone kind of goes with this set idea to start. And then it's like, you know what, we got to switch up here to this. I just like the games that they play with each other, trying to counter each other on Anubis. They seem to do it so much more on this map than any other ones. And this is
for sure.
And you always get like a good 5-4 or a 6-5 kind of thing going on in this. Mm-hmm. Unless certain teams are involved, then it's 1-0. Usually New York.
Right.
Or even Houston does that too on here. But this is a hard one to pick just because Philadelphia's playing so good right now and London's kind of shaky.
I just don't see that staying the case for London all the time.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes it tough.
And there's really no clear cut, this team, the map pool favors this team over that team.
No.
Actually, London, it kind of works out for London and their dismal performances on usually Nepal and Oasis. They got Ilios.
Right.
Which they're markedly better on than any of the other.
They are. I think in the pick'em, I have London winning this 3-2.
You know what? I think I probably have the same thing on that because that was my thing. It's really, really hard to pick them 3-2 when Oasis is the map that you have to count on for them to win.
Right.
But they can't. They didn't lose it every time because they did go overtime in the first stage a couple times. Once against Houston in the playoffs, mm-hmm. Or was it? No, not Houston. No, it was was it New York? I don't know. One of the games that they had to win. They had to win on Oasis. And
no, because they lost to New York, but they did beat Houston on it.
Yeah.
Because that was the map that New York had Sabiobi just take over.
Try to see. I'm gonna forget that Sabiobi killed everybody.
Yes. Still, like one of the most unbelievable things I've ever seen.
Yeah, including all the robot butlers and everything else that was just in the way.
Right.
He was nuts on that one. Anyway, Philadelphia, in order for them to beat London, they have to out-tank them. I think that's the biggest thing.
Plain and simple.
Because I think support-wise, they're even.
Yeah.
London has a slight edge in DPS. It's just a different type of hero pool thing. Depends on what they run and where they're running it. But Fraggy and Poco gotta step it up in this one to make it a match.
Yeah, they have to play the best games of their lives to really make this, to make it a win. They have to play like they did when they beat them in the stage playoff.
And we were saying much of the same things we said at the end of stage 2 with the match.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that Philadelphia has to do.
And now that it's already happened, it's definitely not as unfeasible for Philly to win this game.
It's not at all. Seeing London's desperation right now.
Yeah.
I mean, not that Philadelphia wants to win and keep winning and keep this, momentum going that they have.
But London's almost trying to just not get embarrassed anymore.
Yeah, I know. And maybe they're starting to get, maybe this losing streak thing is losses that they have in the last 4 matches, we'll say. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's putting pressure on them, kind of almost like what, not almost, but like Shanghai, it's this losing streak. There's so much pressure on them to even show up for a match.
Right.
I can't even imagine it. And these guys are slipping in the standings.
Yeah.
And everyone says they're the best team in the league next to New York and all this stuff. I think there's maybe a little pressure going on here, and if it gets a little tight in this game, I don't know what's going to happen because Philadelphia sees a handle of it.
Yeah, and but that's the thing that I always thought that London did really well.
Yeah, so did I.
When it comes down to that tight. And that's what really makes this such an intriguing matchup more than anything.
Oh, yeah.
But, we got to move on to the next one.
Yeah,
We've been talking about this one for a long time.
Let's move on. That was a worthy...
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The next match of the day, we got the New York Excelsior versus the Houston Outlaws. Another huge match.
Bigger for Houston.
Yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. Because New York is just New York.
Yeah.
They're the favorites going into this. Houston needs to show up, and they need to play the best game that they've ever played.
Yeah, and the thing is New York, and the amount of times we said it, New York is just playing at a different level right now. For Houston to even have a chance, for Houston to stay in this match, they got to get a 2-0 at halftime.
Yeah.
And not trying to play from behind against them, because it's not going to happen.
Right.
Their tanks are the only... See, the thing with Houston right now is their tanks are their best part of their game. And the thing is...
They are.
In this match, they might not be the best tank duo.
Right, and that's the tough thing. Is when you play against guys like Meko and
Mono or
Janus, it's just what do you do?
Yeah, and then of course we have Sabiobi.
Right.
And
Sabiobi, and then Libero, who's been playing out of his freaking mind lately.
Yeah, and he can counter Linkser with the Widow.
Yeah. Libero can counter anybody. He has just been playing it unbelievably lately. He is playing like the best player in the league
Yeah, he's like
hands down.
He's like making a move for MVP right now.
He really is.
Although the guy in his back in the DPS line with him probably might have something to say about that, but he's getting up there.
I mean, they have 3 candidates who could be MVP between Sabiobi, Libero, and Jonak.
Yeah, so when they come out with the All-Star team, it's going to be New York versus whatever the fuck else you guys are going to do.
Representing the Eastern Conference, we have New York Excelsior versus everybody else.
Wow. Yeah, that could happen. It could be like in the 40s and 50s with the NFL when they take the league champion and they would play the college all-star team.
Yeah, oh my god, why would they do that? That was I remember hearing about that because most of the time it was the Browns that were doing that because that was when they were actually good. If anyone doesn't realize that the Browns are a historically great franchise, look that shit up.
Yeah.
Dominant.
They were like the Excelsior.
They were like the Excelsior, and if you want to equate it to football, they were even better than the Patriots are.
Yeah.
And have been for the past 20 years. They did that for 25 years and then just, some. Yeah. And then we're just even better. So look that up.
Yeah, look that up.
A little bit of NFL history for you guys.
A little bit of NFL history. The Browns were actually the best team in the league for 2 decades. Them and the Giants were, and then the Packers came along later, but...
And then we still kicked the shit out of all the other teams, even the Giants.
They came in...
Most of the time.
The Browns came into the league as an expansion team. So it would be like, there hasn't been an expansion team in a while. So it would be like the Browns now.
Yeah.
So when they came into the league, they went to the championship game. They essentially went to the Super Bowl.
Because Paul Brown was just like, oh, hey, I got this really good idea where I'm just going to pull all of these guys... And I'm just going to keep him on this thing. I'm going to call it a practice squad? Well, he didn't call it a practice squad. He actually called it a taxi squad because he had them drive as taxi drivers. Just to, so he could keep them employed, so he could keep them for himself. And that was his backups and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and he hilarious.
He was also the guy that said, hey, you know what would be kind of cool if we... Can we tape the games? Get a movie camera guy out there, and then we're
going to tape these games, and I'm going to watch what they do, and then also I'm going to talk to my guys through this little thing called a headset.
Yeah.
So, the first guy to ever do it, and they outlawed it until the 80s.
Yeah, 70s and 80s was when it came back.
Yeah.
Before that, you were just a dude with a fedora standing on the sidelines.
Exactly.
We're going into deep NFL history here. That was the time before face masks and the football was almost round. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was actually one of the first people to invent the face mask. Actually,
actually, he's the guy that it was essentially a piece of fucking plexiglass.
It was a plexi or because they didn't really have fiberglass, but it was just a big bar that they put across the face of the helmet to prevent the guys from getting hurt that way.
Yeah. So now that we've stalled on this one for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'm kind of... You can't go against New York.
Right, exactly. And Houston is just too inconsistent. These tend to be the games that they show up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's still it's damn near impossible to go against New York right now.
Yeah, prove me wrong.
Right, exactly. So, New York it is.
Yeah, and the thing is with them, too, it's like... You're like, oh, well, maybe... And then you're like, well, fucking Jonak and... No, that's not going to happen. Their supports, no,
Nope.
DPS, maybe Jake can do something. And then you look at the maps and you're like, oh, the only thing you can really run his, main hero things on are Nepal.
Yeah.
Maybe play some... So then you have him playing Tracer and stuff like that where he's not as great on most of the maps when he's in there.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just... You got to.
I feel like this could actually get ugly.
It could get ugly, or, it could be one of those situations where Houston figured something out. Yeah, because sometimes they do that.
Yeah.
They're tricky. Like in stage 1, when they beat London and everyone's like...
How many times did we think that, Houston's not going to do shit, and then what did they do? They came out and just wrecked.
Yeah. I think they hear us in some way, shape, or form. Like, Houston's going to get steamrolled in this one, and they show up. But, yeah, it's New York for both of us. Okay, so let's move on to the last match of the week. We have the Florida Mayhem and the Boston Uprising. Don't know what to expect in this one.
But based on what we've seen so far, because the one game is going on right now as we're recording this, Boston looks surprisingly good without Dreamcasper.
Yeah.
Mistakes is playing really, really well.
Yeah, and he, because I even made the comment before we jumped into recording this episode, last segment, or last stage, when Mistakes was in there, they generally won, and they looked good.
Yeah.
So maybe it's something that needed to be done anyway. You hate to say that, but...
Right. I mean, it's probably something they were looking at, like, long-term, maybe, but at the same time, yeah, like, and they're doing this against New York, and then they have to play in this game, they gotta play Florida, so yeah. I just don't see it going all that well for Florida. That being said, I think Florida makes it a game.
Yeah.
Because they have played really well, and I think they do actually match up pretty decently against Boston, especially without Dreamcasper, because before they didn't really have a great counter to him.
Oh, and just a side note, Logix has been sick. We're probably going to see more Saya player in this one, and Tavik. So, and that could be something different, because you could always run, I mean, Logix is good against a team against like Boston.
Yeah, and that does kind of hurt them. So hopefully Logix is good by the time this game comes around, because I really think that could be huge for them. Having Logix play alongside Saya Playa, I think has been it's almost been a renaissance for them.
Yeah, they looked really good, and they were playing New York.
Right.
As one of their matches, in Philadelphia.
Right.
And London. Well, you didn't play in the London match, so.
And all these guys have played really, they've played really well. Tavik has kind of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah.
But Saya Playa has been more than willing to come in and step up and be that guy that they need.
Yeah, and, Tavik, I think he needs to be more of the guy on their team, like, agilities or hydration. Because he's got
that situational
projectile guy.
Yeah.
Because I think he's got a big bag of heroes. I think if he narrows it down to, like, he does Genji, Pharah, and,
Sombra. I think that's like Sombra, the three that he should play.
And, occasionally he's got an insane Hanzo.
Yeah.
If you need, like, to bring in Hanzo. But, like, other teams do that. I mean, basically, be half Libero.
Yeah, even just half of Libero is still a really great player in this league.
Yeah, but you know what I'm getting at.
Absolutely.
I don't think, also, when he's playing now, I don't think he has to press to switch up so many times to so many different heroes. So I think it's making it easier for him when he's in there.
Yeah, for sure. Now that they have some more flexibility in their DPS in general, it really opens it up for them to throw out some different lineups and just be a little more consistent with what they're playing.
Yeah, and we might see some awesome guy this week too, because he is in everybody's in the Mayhem building right now. So
yeah,
because Zappos really hasn't been played much at all.
No,
which is odd.
Yeah, I really.
Well, it's really not. Unfortunately, it doesn't favor his hero pool.
No, this map set does not help him at all.
Especially since he's an okay D.Va and a really, really good Zarya.
Yeah.
You're going to want to have Manitin in. It's hard to take Manitin out because he's one of the best D.Vas in the league. Underrated. People really I don't think, notice him too much.
Right, because...
But his stats are usually really good.
Yeah, Manitin's been playing really, really well. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see if they were to put him in.
But I think the more Mistakes plays, though, for Boston...
Yeah.
I think the better he's going to be.
I agree. He's going to be along the lines of... He just needs playing time to really get better and play that role that they need him to.
Yeah, because he's got a decent Genji. He's not like a Genji god. Like, he's not on Philadelphia. But his Sombra, of course, is great, and it works in this current meta.
Absolutely.
And he can pull out... I always say this. Any DPS person can pull out Soldier.
Oh, yeah.
You know? And you have one of the best tracers in the league, so there's no worries with that. Right. I mean, you just let Striker do Striker things and have, Mistakes do the other.
Right.
Whatever you want it to be.
Exactly.
But I'm taking Florida. I think that's a no-brainer. Where are you at on this
fair.
one? This is going to be a tough game.
Torn. I'm slightly leaning towards Boston. But I think in the pick'em I do have Boston winning 3-2. Because I do think that this is going to go to 5.
Yeah, I do too.
I think I have Boston going 3-2.
Yeah, and Florida doesn't have too many maps where they're really shitty on.
Right.
Because they're decent on Nepal.
Right, like it's not even a map thing anymore for them.
No, it's not. Well, Minus the Hollywood.
Minus Hollywood. Yeah.
They actually didn't do bad against New York on Blizzard World the last time they played it. So
yeah.
Junkertown, they're kind of terrible on. There have been a couple of matches. In fact, the first time they played Boston in the first stage, they didn't even get a point.
Yeah.
But Boston was on a roll at that point. So
yeah, they really were.
Yeah, okay, so I got Florida, you got Boston. That is going to wrap up Saturday, guys. So don't forget to join up the High Noon Pick'em. Remember, 200 subscribers, you get a prize. It's like a carnival now. It's not like a...
Right.
200 subscribers, you get a prize.
But yeah, give us a like, and subscribe. Share us on Twitter. Talk to us on Twitter. We'll be on Twitter talking about the matches tonight, or all the nights, and then everything else.
Yeah, Twitch. We'll be on Twitch here and there. Discord. We're gonna try and work something out with Discord. We're trying to get something set up with that better.
Yeah.
We've promised it and we haven't done it. And we'll run a Retribution run and Uprising run, so you guys can you can get our thoughts on that too.
Yeah.
Sometime this weekend, early in the week. Real life happens, so we couldn't do the normal stuff that we do with things like that. So
yeah.
You guys have a good rest of your week, and we'll see you with the recaps.
Yep. We'll see you guys on the next one. Later.
Later.